Alright, this is going to be a fun one. And before someone on YouTube watches this in 2027 and they're like, oh boy, I can go to his chat and just spam slurs. The time is now. You. All right, this is Snow. So, Snow is a pretty unique enemy in that she has a boss encounter and a regular encounter. First of all, I always thought that the whole touch the hot springs thing and then she attacks you was a really weird stretch. Like, I never really understood this whole mechanic of you touch a hot spring and then you go touch her and she's like in a cave and then gets upset that you touched her after touching a hot spring. Like what even is this mechanic, right? Well, believe it or not, it actually comes from Japanese folklore. I'm surprised I never knew this because like I figured I would have looked it up by now, but I just always thought it was some kind of weird, we want to have this optional boss, but we need you to go to a specific spot in the Great Glacier. So we're just going to have this like hot spring thing. But turns out it is actually from Japanese folklore. So the Yuki Anna, who looks like this, is a spirit woman often called Snow Girl, Snow Daughter, Snow Princess, etc. And there are multiple renditions that either melt or disappear when given hot water. So that's kind of like the lore. She's like this ghost woman, and in some of the stories, she's given hot water and then she melts. So, and then she's actually literally called Snow Girl, Snow Daughter, or Snow Princess in the stories. So that's why her name is Snow. I always thought it was just some weird thing they came up with for the sake of the Great Glacier, and I always thought the name was just like a stupid random name they came up with, like just call her Snow because she's in the snow area. But turns out it actually makes complete sense that her name is Snow, and it makes complete sense that you touch a hot spring and then she attacks you. So that kind of blew my mind. Like I said, she has a regular encounter and a boss encounter, but the boss encounter has the same exact stats as the regular encounter. Because there are random encounters in the room with the boss encounter, you can potentially get a back attack on this boss encounter, which is extra funny because you talk to her and she goes, how dare you talk to me, die, and then suddenly it's a back attack, which makes no sense. She uses Fascination on any character regardless of gender, unlike Gem Nesmi, who uses it only on male characters. She uses Ice 2 as a counter to physical attacks, and she does it more as she loses health. And she uses Fascination as a magic counter as long as the attacker doesn't already have Confusion. The field model for Snow looks nothing like the enemy model, and the field model is just a reused Icicle Inn woman model that is tinted. So if you remember this character from the Icicle Inn, the one that's in the room that you get the snowboard, basically the mom of the kid that gives you the snowboard, Snow is just this model, but tinted. So now you know. When you go get the snowboard, Snow's watching you the whole time. Also, she has the extremely rare and incredibly powerful Circlet for a steal, and you can get as many as you want from the random encounters. I almost feel like it was a mistake to make her a random encounter because she's a boss here, but she's also a random encounter, and the boss is no different from the random encounter, and she has a really rare steal. So it would have made a lot more sense if it was just this fight and she didn't have a random encounter and then you just got one Circlet. But because she's also a random encounter, you can get 3 Circlets here, which are incredibly strong for this part of the game. especially because you get Magic Plus right before this and Comet right before this. Losing to the snow boss fight doesn't cause a game over. You wake up at Halzoff's house instead. So I don't know if you've ever game over to this fight because it's pretty easy. But if you do, if you let her confuse you too many times and you have really strong characters and they kill your party, you actually don't game over. You just wake up as if you ran out of steps in the Great Glacier, which I often forget about. I think I lost to this fight in a mod and woke up at Halzoff's house and I was like, oh dang, I completely forgot that was a thing. Also, her counters can be pretty strong. Like, because she counters every, like, for example, there, I attacked her with a physical attack, so she countered with Ice 2, and then because that was a counter, she still took her regular turn, so she hit me with a breath attack, so she can put together some scary combos if you're not careful. You can also just Comet her face and she dies. Pojo, thank you for the 49. I should have stole a, why this? I should have stole a circlet, but we have to fight the other one anyway, so it's fine. Alright, now we want to go this way to get added cut. And then after that, we'll hunt down the enemies we're missing. I think it's this way. It's either down or to the left, I forget which. I think it's to the left. Speaking of which, there she is. I don't think you can manipulate her. Yo, nice. I need to get my kids into Astrobot. I think they'd like it a lot. My youngest might still be too little. So Astrobot's not like super easy. It's simple, but not like easy. Also, Red 13 being confused is a big problem. Yeah, I gotta stop saying youngest when I mean Simon. I know, it's wild. I'm just so used to calling him my youngest. He's not. Come on, Cloud. Figure it out. I'll probably just get one circlet, since I'm only using Cloud as my magic caster. I could give one to Yuffie too, but... the youngest could plat it for sure. Come on, Cloud. Can you stop using that specifically on Red 13? My character that does 7 million damage. Thank you. Appreciate you. That's not very nice. I mean, at least he'll stop getting confused now. I can't believe how bad this steel's being. She ran out of MP. I still haven't gotten the circle. There, finally. Yuffie crit herself. Okay, I think it's to the left. I know it's off this screen, I just don't remember. Oh, that's right. That's right. Good thing I checked. It's actually you double back through the same exit. The classic best uncle ever mug. Alright, Red 13's about to hit critical mass. Although, at this point, Cloud is also pretty huge. Let's take out exit. You can get added cut, and you can have exit, I guess. I'm never even going to use all these weird materia, but I'm having fun leveling up materia I don't usually level up. Okay, so we still have a bunch of enemies to find. Let's see what's on this screen. Oh, there's literally no encounters on the screen. I didn't even know that. There's no encounters on the hot spring screen. I like his box of rocks. He has a really cool box of rocks. Oh, thank you, Data Spot, by the way. I missed your sub. Thank you very much, man. No, we haven't gotten to Malboro yet. I like Sid's dance on that screen. Nice. So this is Ice Golem. So Ice Golem has the movement abilities and Megaton Punch that regular Golem has, but never uses them. It seems at some point in development they decided to just give the Ice Golem a ton of HP and magic defense instead, although I don't know why they made them so small and why they're robots in Great Glacier. They're just here. And L4 Suicide works on them, so that's a great way to just kill them quickly. But yeah, they kind of, like, they don't do anything that the other Golem enemies do. You know, all the other Golem enemies have that cool movement mechanic, and they have different attacks based on what row they're in, and they have, like, the big punch attack. These guys just kind of have regular attacks, and they just kind of sit there, and they just have a lot of HP and a lot of magic defense. You're supposed to hit them with physical attacks. They don't really have any, like, gimmick. And I also don't know why there's robots in the glacier. None of the other enemies are robots. They do have this attack that is the same animation as Tail Laser. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. Does a lot of damage, too. Oh, remind me to show you how strong the circlet is. Do they have a different coat of arms? Do they have a coat of arms at all? I can't tell. We'll look in a second. I want to see Red 13's Giga Massive damage with added cut. Boom. 2400 damage. They kind of do look like action figures. They remind me of toy soldiers. Like the movie. Yeah, this seems like a last minute. Let's just plop these guys in there. I don't know why they're so tiny, though. Like, they're specifically tiny. I don't... They're obviously supposed to... That's obviously supposed to be part of their gimmick, how tiny they are. Hey, hold on. Let me look at the data viewer here. Sorry for the loud Windows noise. Interesting. So they have the same coat of arms, but the colors are different, which makes sense because a lot of the enemies are palette changes. But yeah, same exact one. They also have some dead pixels, so continuing to ruin Final Fantasy VII one fact at a time. But they have several dead pixels here. But yeah, same deal. Same deal, different colors. So yeah. At this point, in terms of accessories, the best... We actually don't have any accessories that increase magic damage. But we have stuff like the Protect Vest that gives plus 10 Vitality, Strength plus 10, Spirit plus 10... You know, one stat plus 10 is the best we have. And we have nothing that gives just magic, right? Circlet gives magic and spirit plus 30. Absolute massive boost. Insanely massive boost. Cloud has nearly... He has more than double Yuffie's magic at this point. So yeah, the circlet is incredibly strong if you take the time to grab it from Snow. And because Snow is repeatable, you can get 3 of them. And it's not a bad, you know, even if you don't have, if you just have like one character that's built for magic, the Spirit plus 30 is huge. You can give that to anybody and it's super useful. Are there fights in here? Excuse me. Doesn't look like it. What about... Alright, let's just go to a random field and then we'll see. Not sure what fights you get out here. How's it going, Ranger? What? Huh? No idea what just happened. Yeah, I've been in the glacier too long. I'm getting a cold. All right. Shred. I like this name. Shred is a cool name. There he is. He uses Crazy Claw 1/3 of the time, which can cause Berserk. Can also Cure 3 once per battle when his HP is less than 25% as a counter. And after this counter, he uses Crazy Claw more frequently, 50% of the time. He's also weak to fire, so beta works well. So let's see if we can get him to use Cure 3 just to show it off. I'm sure many of you have probably seen this guy use Cure 3. It's kind of a funny thing that catches you off guard. They don't have a ton of HP, though, so it's easy to just one-shot them, especially with beta. Okay, well, Yuffie's just going to crit and one-shot him. Never mind. Everybody was very angry at that enemy. But yes, they have Cure 3, and then they start attacking more after they cure, which is kind of a funny mechanic, because now they're fully healed and deal more damage. To get kind of a second wind. Okay, finally on a field. I can look at the enemies. So we can fight 2 of the enemies we need here. That is not one of them. Hey, D-Pal, thank you so much for buying the Touch Me F mug. Can I read your message that you sent? This is weird. This isn't matching up with what I have here. Yeah, this encounter table isn't matching up. Let's check another field. Nice. He said, longtime viewer drifting always between YouTube, lurking, and Twitch chat. Congrats on the newly expanded family and many holiday blessings. Thank you, D-Pow. Appreciate that, man. Enjoy your mug. Enjoy your frog. Did I play Final Fantasy VII when it first came out? No, we didn't get a PS1 until a bit later, but it was one of the first PS1 games I played. But we didn't get a PS1 until a little after it came out. And we also skipped a whole console generation. We skipped the SNES. My stepbrother had a Genesis. We only had a few games for it. And we totally missed out on the Genesis. Or, sorry, Super Nintendo. I'm not getting any fields with the enemies we need. I think we need to get to, like, the other side of the glacier. Final Fantasy VII was also the first game I played that was, like, any more visually and mechanically complicated than Sonic 2. So it's part of the reason why it blew my mind so much. Most people went from, like, Super Metroid to Final Fantasy VII, which is still a pretty cool jump, but not as much of a jump than Sonic 2 to Final Fantasy VII. Even though that was technically the same generation. I should have gone to the left side here. I think the left side is where all the enemies are that I'm missing. I meant to go to the left side, but I got turned around. Sonic 2 looks better than Super Metroid. Well, I more meant, like, like how complicated the game is, but yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting discussion, because I think Sonic is more visually appealing, like surface value, but then there's a lot more visual storytelling and depth to Super Metroid. Okay, this is Lesaloploth. His name should have been translated to Lesser Ropros, but was instead turned into one word. Ropros is a robot pterodactyl from the Babel 2 manga, and actually makes an appearance as an enemy in Final Fantasy XIV as well. So Final Fantasy XIV, they made a very deep cut reference to Ropros. And here they were meaning to reference Ropros, but the translation kind of screwed it up. Strangely, there is also a line of creatures in Final Fantasy called Lesser Lopros, as in Lopros, and it's always lesser. There's never a main Lopros. This creature may also be a reference to that line, as there was one in Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VI. So Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VI all had lesser Loproses. So maybe this was supposed to be the next lesser Lopros. This guy's AI ensures that it'll never use the same attack twice. But due to a bug, this causes him to never use his Snowstorm attack, which would have been his only magical attack, and contrary to its name, was a single target attack. So they tried too hard to make this guy never repeat attacks, and accidentally locked him out of his best attack. Which is just classic Final Fantasy VII. Classic Final Fantasy VII type beat. And also enjoy Cloud using Comet with a circlet. Yep, he does a little damage now. Cloud went from being just using weak spells while Red 13 nuked everything to now having Magic Plus and Comet and the circlet. I'm not sure. I don't think he can be manipped. Maybe? Let's try it just for the heck of it. Because I don't know if I looked that up. He definitely can be manipped. It said miss. And he does still have Avalanche, which hits everybody. Snowstorm was just a single target attack. Nope. In fact, he can't even use Avalanche. He can only use his physical attacks. Are you kidding me? How'd I end up on the bottom again? I suck at this screen. People tell me to just follow the grid on the floor, but I still don't know, like... I still get lost somehow. There we go. Great. Finally made it. Finally made it. I just pass out. There we go. We made it. So hopefully we can fight. I think we're only missing... How many enemies are we missing now? Let's see, we got the ice column and the nail and the shred. Okay, we're only missing one. And he's on the screen. Perfect. He's kind of rare, though. I'm surprised we haven't gotten the snow Lesalo cloth fight. That one seems kind of... Whenever I fight snow, it's always that fight. I don't usually get the single snow fight. Nice. There he is. Alright, so this is Magnade. So Magnade was probably a combination of Magna, like the word Magnus, and Guard, but that would have made his name Magnard, which sounds awful. So it makes sense that they changed it to Magnade instead. I never understood this enemy and usually just run away from it. It like has two shields, but it's not like the other shield guy who flips them or goes into different phases. He just kind of blocks everything, and I never really took the time to understand how he works. So I usually just run away from him. But this is how he actually works. He has two shields, but he doesn't work like the Grim Guard. Instead, both shields are basically just one physical shield. However, it's confusing because the shields don't give him defense, they give him defense %. Meaning he just evades almost all attacks, which is not what you would expect from a shield. You would expect the shield to lower the damage or make the damage 0, but it actually just makes him dodge. So he'll even dodge 255% weapons most of the time, but they can be used to eventually hit him. In order to break the shield, you have to attack 20 to 24 times, which is very confusing because it looks like you're just missing. So you're like, it doesn't look like you're breaking the shield. It looks like you're just missing. So this fight's really missing a like animation of maybe bonking off the shield or something. There should have been some kind of you hit and it does 0 damage, and then maybe a message is displayed that says you damage the shield or something to give you an idea of what's going on. Because casually you're going to have no idea that when you miss, like this, you're actually damaging the shield. And there's no animation or anything to really tell you that's what's happening. But you are actually damaging the shield when you miss. And you have to attack so many times that no one casually is ever going to figure out that this works. But if you just sit here and attack 20 times, I accidentally used a limit, so this is going to hit, I think. I don't think this guy can dodge, because it's not like the... Yeah, it's not like jumping and stuff. So, let's fight another one. This doesn't work like Cactuar, so limits will still hit him. This guy reminds me of Minotaur from 8. Just the way he looks. Yeah, I can't imagine most people ever saw this, because who would sit here and miss 20 times? Like, oh, it'll eventually work, guys. Just keep missing. I probably did as a kid. Just sat here and spammed attack, like, why isn't it working? There it is. So there you go. We broke his shield. And the other thing about him that is somewhat interesting, if you don't want to deal with the nonsense, he's pretty weak to magic. So unlike the Grim Guard, you can just use magic on him and he dies. Also, fire. He's weak against fire, so just use like Fire 2 and you kill him. Or even funnier, this guy is just like the ancient dragon in the temple. He's actually weak to Demi. So if you use laser, which normally does 1/2 an enemy's HP, it does 2/2 of his HP. So he just dies. Because he takes double damage from a 1/2 HP attack. Yeah, I find it very funny that gravity weakness exists and it actually just doubles the damage, meaning that because you do half his HP, you instead do all of his HP. I find that very funny. I don't even know. I'm not sure that was even meant to be a thing. Maybe it was, though. Alright, so that was actually, no, Demi would never do 9s because he only has 1,000 HP. We actually got through Ice Skull, or Great Glacier, pretty quickly. Yeah, it did exactly 1,000 damage because he has 1,000 HP. Laser normally does 1/2 HP, but it does double 1/2 HP. So it does 100% of his HP. So it does 1,000 damage and kills him. Same thing with the Ancient Dragon, and same thing with one more enemy. And I think that's it. there's enemies that are affected by gravity, but only a few that are weak against it. It's very quiet up here. Why is 3/4 time and 6/8 time different? Because they're written different, I think. Because the first number is how much a beat counts. So, like, they would be written totally different. That and they're not fractions, yeah. No, the two numbers mean different things. It's not just a fraction. Why am I running? All right, this is Evil Head. Evil Head has a 1/4 chance to dodge all physical attacks until their next turn, so similar to jumping. So I believe limits could also miss these guys. And they can also be super easily morphed into the rare item Holy Torch if you use L4 Suicide, which I don't have on this one, and a freaking Silenced Cloud, because they're jerks. So you go like that, and then you go like this, and you get a free Holy Torch. Yes, what chat said. Sorry, they can explain it better than me. Holy Torch is a Dispel, I believe. Yep. Which isn't super useful because not many enemies use anything on themselves, but it's useful against, say, for Sephiroth to get rid of his wall. Alright, now we got Head Bomber, who, once again, the kanji on their chest translates to anger. It's the same kanji as the other one. Not only does this guy cause fury, but when he's the last enemy alone, it will double its dexterity and only use Extreme Bomber. So he has an even crazier, like, anger gimmick than the previous guy. And then the Zoloculter, another great name. This one, we have to pull out our Brady guide once again for a very unimportant fun fact, but that's what you're here for. Let me swap this over. Where am I at? Over there. Can you see it? Right there. I can't see because my screen's in a weird spot. They forgot the second O. So instead of Zoloculter, it's Zolculter. So they misspelled it. Very exciting, I know. Very exciting stuff. Life-changing stuff. What else? Oh, we actually have a lot on this guy. Holy cow. Okay, so the Zolo Coulter has a completely broken AI. I know. Shocked faces in the chat. The way it's supposed to work is first they're supposed to look for a party member that is poisoned. Then if they don't find one, they cast Toxic Barf. And if they do find one, they just attack the poisoned party member. So they would just poison one target, and then they just start attacking that poisoned target for the rest of the fight. But first off, they check for something the check for something that is poisoned was accidentally set to any battle object, not just party members. And secondly, they have a counterattack where they use Toxic Barf when physically attacked, but once again, they accidentally set it to any object, not just party members. And on top of that, there is a check to choose a random opponent if it accidentally picks itself, but they screwed up the syntax, so that doesn't work correctly either. So this is what happens when you attack one of these guys. When you attack them, they have a chance to cast Toxic Barf on anything. So if you get lucky, alright, we'll test on another one. Let's show off Head Bomber. So once we kill the first Head Bomber, now this second Head Bomber will get double speed, and he will only use Extreme Bomber. So look at how crazy this dude is now. This is actually a really cool gimmick. Way better than the other one. He will start smacking everybody. So very cool. And he'll give like everyone Fury as well. Okay, so let's do a fight with... I believe there's a 4X Zolo Coulter fight. Alright, now watch this madness. So we're going to attack one. And we need to make sure we're not poisoned, because now they're all just going to attack the poison thing. Getting unlucky. There you go. So he just randomly attacked the other Zolo Coulter. There's no, like, I didn't do anything special for that to happen. It's just every time you attack one of these guys, they will hit any random thing with this attack. But now, because this enemy is poisoned, they're all going to attack him now. But then, now that we attacked him, he counters with Toxic Barf, and that could potentially hit any of them. So it will just descend into chaos now. Where if we just sit here and let them chill, and like if he's attacking himself too, look at him. Because he's poisoned, and it just says attack something that's poisoned. So now they're all attacking him. And now he's going to start countering, which could potentially hit us, potentially hit them. I'm going to cure them. Use one more antidote on Cloud. We're getting really unlucky with these toxic barf counters. They're like all attacking us. Let's redo the fight. And let's give ourselves poison protection, which I think I actually already have because I have 2 ribbons now. Wait, I'm about to have 2 ribbons. There we go. And then you can get Star Pendant. Okay, so let's redo the fight now. And just watch it descend into chaos. Because they'll never target us because we're never going to get poisoned. The only thing they're going to target us with is toxic barf. They're going to continue over and over to try to toxic barf us. And eventually, one of our attacks is going to cause them to hit each other. And I don't believe this was on purpose at all. Pretty sure the way this guy is supposed to work is just when you attack him, he toxic barfs somebody on your team, and then they all just attack that person, which could be pretty scary because they all, you know, pile on the enemy that's already poisoned. Cloud, how did you miss? What are you doing? Dang it. I will get this to work, even if I have to speed it up to make it work. Stop doing so much damage. Why does Yuffie crit so often? Hold on. Here, have the Buster Sword. Stop being so strong. I feel like we're getting so unlucky. Like, they can hit anything, and there's 3 of us and 4 of them, and yet they keep hitting us. You gotta be kidding me. Now his MP is used up. Give him a Mega Elixir. They just don't want to. They just don't want to do it. They don't want to show it off. They don't want to show off the funny. I'm gonna try a different different one. Now I'll have stage fright. There we go. All right. So now, look at this madness. They're all going to start attacking each other. Every time one of them chooses them as a target, the other one will counter and hit another one. Now that one's poisoned. Now he's attacking him. Now they're all attacking each other. Now this one's going to counter. Poison that one. Now they're all poisoned. They're all attacking each other. They're healing from the poison, but they're all attacking each other, attacking themselves. It just descends into pure chaos. And now we just eventually win the fight. Yeah, we did nothing special. It's just that we're all immune to poison, so they weren't attacking us. But once one of them gets poisoned, it goes downhill. Then they all start countering each other. I find it extra funny that they can not only attack themselves, but toxic barf themselves and poison themselves. And it's not like they're confused or anything or manipulated. This is just what their AI does. Yeah, I think well, there's so many issues with this fight. There's like the 3 different AI mistakes they made, but then on top of that, they forgot to give them immunity to poison. If they were immune to poison, that also wouldn't happen. But because all of those things are true, that can happen. So yeah. Hilarious fight. I will be winning that fight like that from now on forever. It could have been on purpose. They could have said like, oh, if you try to poison this enemy, he now heals himself. But either way, yeah, all the other mistakes were definitely mistakes. Also, we just got back attacked by a frickin' Stilva who instantly used Magic Breath. That's insane. If we were speedrunning, the game may have just ended. Okay, let's talk about Stilva. So Stilva has access to multiple physical attacks as well as Magic Breath, which will delete the party if you don't have fire, ice, or lightning protection. Now, most of the time, you have protection because you've picked up the Aurora Armlet and the other one, the Bolt Armlet. And if you haven't equipped them by now, what are you doing? Because they're the strongest equipment in the game till like the end. But if you don't, and you run into this guy, he can do exactly what he just did to us. He can just use Magic Breath as his first attack, and we even got ambushed, so we had no chance to even defend against it. And as you can see, it did almost double our HP. So I don't know why exactly they did that, if they just wanted to show off how strong Magic Breath is or something, but yeah, it's crazy strong. You can also learn Trine from Stilva by manipulating him, which most people know because this is like the second missable Trine learn of the game. He can morph into the rare Holy Torch item, but of course, I showed off earlier, you can get even better Holy Torch, or easier Holy Torches from the bats. You can stop Stilva from using Magic Breath with Magic Hammer, or you can kill him quickly with L4 Suicide. Will always cycle into using Magic Breath every 4 turns, but can start on any turn. So he'll use Magic Breath again in 4 turns. And he also has some really amazing concept art. You're actually going to be blown away by how cool this concept art is. Look at this. There's this one, which is very detailed and very cool. Then there's also this one. Look at this. Like, huh? Why is this so freaking cool? Holy crap. This, yeah, I was going to say, it looks like a Magic the Gathering monster. Also, his name was Stilv at some point. But they probably just changed it for pronunciation. Look at how detailed. I love this Cloud, by the way, and I love how it says Cloud on his chest. Look at all this. Center leg, front leg, rear leg. You got like the weird Leviathan looking breakdown of his body over here. Cloud just looks happy to be a part of this awesome concept art. But yeah, this kind of blew my mind. All the other concept arts are definitely detailed, but I mean this just looks insane. And this enemy, I mean, Materia Keeper's like a big important boss, but you know, this guy only shows up in this one area. He's not a boss. So, pretty crazy. Maybe, yeah. Maybe they just liked the design so much, they were like, we should turn this into a boss also. I don't believe he's in the battle arena, though. He might be. He'd be pretty scary if he was. Alright, who we got so far? We got the Zolaculter, we got the Head Bomber, we got the Evil Head, we got the Stilva. Okay, I think we're good for this area. Yeah, Great Glacier actually didn't go too bad.